Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are at Chris's shop today. I'm gonna try and wrap up a few things to get Chris on, the right path to getting some of these projects finished. Before we do that though, a few of you were commenting and wondering why I wasn't home already with the Christmas holidays coming up. And just in case you didn't know, Christmas is not celebrated in Japan. Christmas in Japan is like a kind of what comes after the two Valentine's days we have, because we have Valentine's Day, then we have White Day, which is where White Day is where the man decides to return something back to the girl that gave him something on Valentine's Day. And then that leads up supposedly to Christmas Day, where you're supposed to take them to Disneyland or eat KFC chicken. So yeah. Christmas holidays doesn't exist. It's not a holiday whatsoever. It's a normal working day. It's a normal day in Japan. It's only a Western holiday that. So I hope that clears up a few things for you. Second thing is we're gonna finish this 1J, hopefully. This thing here. So, I nearly forgot. I need to show you Chris's new heater because I converted that to a waste oil furnace. So that's gonna be something cool, and it's a way of getting free heat in the winter time. It's very efficient and super affordable, and I wanna show that to you guys as well. But first of all, let me show you what we got. If you guys remember, this is kind of where I left the 1J because we need a very special oil drain for this. Using a T4 twin scroll housing and manifold means that space is pretty much a very rare commodity. As you can see, if we were to use this type of oil drain, it's hitting the bolt and the flange here, and there's no space for us to actually get anything onto there and not touch this, and yeah, you get the gist. It's tight. And I don't really want to run the turbo on a crazy angle like that, because then oil's not going to flow through there as smooth as you want it to, and I think you're only allowed to have these at like a 10 degree or something. I'm not entirely sure, but it's best to always have your turbo up and down so oil flows in through the top and flows out down the bottom. To fix that is actually something I use on all of my cars. Seriously, every single one of my cars has this kit on it. And this particular one comes from PRP. They sell this full kit here, and it comes with the dash 10 bung. And what we do is we pick how long we need it, we cut it, we weld that on, and we're good. There are some pre-made ones out there, but this one I like from PRP because it's super, super long, so I can cut it and make it as long as I want. As a lot of the pre-made ones, they can be little short guys or long guys, and it's easier and better depending on your build and your needs to just make one at the length that you want. And obviously it's super easy to weld. If you are handy with the welder, you could use a MIG or a TIG. I would prefer a TIG with this, but you could get away with a MIG if you're desperate. That aside though, that's it. Super simple. Nice and skinny. This can go up and in there, and it's a little flex pipe. So you can kind of move it around wherever you want, and it will clear everything. It doesn't obviously matter if it's close to something that's super hot, and you're all good to go. So you can see, it could touch the manifold for all I care. It doesn't matter. Anyways, let's chop this where we want it and weld her up. Today's video is sponsored by Be Forward. If you want to get any kind of cool Japanese car exported from Japan to here in the USA, just like this 180SX right-hand drive, there's a right-hand drive Mini Pajero outside K car, or even just like a K van, a K truck, anything that you want out of Japan. I mean, even a right-hand drive Roadster, right? Or a JZX90. There's so many amazing Japanese cars in this shop that came from Japan, that had a life in Japan. If you want to be able to purchase anything from not only local dealers in Japan or on Goonet or even in the auctions, you need to hit up my boys at Be Forward. Be Forward is a huge supporter of the channel. They also support my Formula Drift program, and they are Japan's biggest car exporter. They've been in it for the longest. Every year, they do hundreds of thousands of cars all around the world. If you're looking to export a car out of Japan, I've got a link down in the description. Make sure you also use coupon code SAMMIT in checkout so you can get $100 off your first car purchase with them, and they'll throw in a few little free gifts when your car leaves the country. Thank you so much for Be Forward for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. Look at that. Designed so that this fitting will slide in there, and then you have a really nice surface to weld the two on. Obviously you should prep that. I'm gonna try and use Chris's TIG, but I don't know if that's set up properly, and it seems like he only has aluminum filler rod, so we might end up just turning the MIG down super low and wishing our luck with this. Hopefully we can use the TIG though. That's what I want. I have the core flipped around, but as you can see, we have this bolted on now. Chris couldn't find any filler rod available locally, so I had to MIG it. I did the best I could. I'm not super stoked with it, but it'll work. Now all I gotta do is take the core off and rotate it, and we'll be good. It's all sealed up. Tiny bit of RTV on that gasket so we don't have any leaking issues. But now this will snake past there, no problem, and shoot us straight into there. But it's, oh my God. Yo.
Let's go, dude.
I am excited to eat. We're gonna eat. This is awesome. You must be stoked.
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
Free who?
You stoked?
Oh yeah, I can't wait to dig in. Look at this.
Orion loves free food.
Yeah. Well, Chris is getting all this other shit. I don't like that potato salad.
Yo, this looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm just...
A few moments later.
So we've got the turbo kind of rotated where I think it's gonna land. You can see we still have space around everything, which is awesome. And that's why these are so good. They just, like, I mean, when you do need to remove or put the turbo on, you just leave it on because it comes off with the whole core. And now you've got like a clean shot straight down to there, which is awesome. You see the difference?
Yeah, I think this is super amazing. I mean, I don't even think it was possible to do it any other way.
Not when you have a big T4 twin scroll housing like this. Like, you can see how much bigger and fatter this is here. Dude, and how close it is to all the fittings.
Even to get this rear housing on, I didn't know until you told me this. There's only one way to put this V-band. It took me and a buddy like over an hour to get on. It took you 2 seconds.
Yeah, so the machining in the face here of the, like, you can just see, look how much this tape is in here. Oh, there's so much, like, there's hardly any space. But yeah, there's only one place machined for that V-band to sit, and it's pretty much where it is now, and it's nice and tight down there. But this is kind of where it's at. I've been showing Chris, like, this is kind of what he's gonna be working with. He doesn't have a reverse rotation turbo, so that's why, like, things are kind of as they are. And then he's going to be getting some probably push lock fittings you're going to use for water, so it just makes it easier.
With Sam too, and we're going to do some couple things. Like, but me and Sam have been talking for the past 30 minutes just about my questions and stuff, and I mean, you kind of summed up everything that I needed to know, really.
It's pretty straightforward. Like, where you're at now is kind of like that last 10%. That's frustrating.
That last 10%.
Yeah. That last 10% is always the most time-consuming thing, but everything else looks really good. The only thing I'd say is, like, everything looks nice and new. That alternator could do with a scrub. That's like the only thing that annoys me.
No, the alternator's not great.
Just needs a little wire wheeling.
I think we cleaned it a little bit, but you never want to get like it too gross.
No, yeah, because you don't want to get
the inside.
Nothing inside the coils.
Probably doesn't even work anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, it's all good. If you need another one, I'll send you one. It's not a big deal. But yeah, otherwise though, the RTEC manifold, this thing is going to be crazy responsive. Even though you got a 1.0 rear housing, this thing with the twin scroll, it's going to be night and day.
Insane. Yeah, no, I'm super excited to feel it.
Going to a single is going to be a big game changer for this thing.
Yeah, like, honestly, the car, ever since I bought this car, it's been a pile of junk. I'll just be real. Like, the twin, everything was leaking. That front fan was leaking everything. Like, the front end, all of the bushings were blown out. Like, I've owned this car for like 2 years. I don't think I've actually enjoyed this car once.
Dang, that sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, here we are. I mean, you kind of guided me in the right direction and helped me with all of that and kind of opened my eyes to things I just didn't know about. So, I mean, I think I can start to work on this again.
My question I have is, are you going to do a hood dump or going to go straight down to the ground, or are you going to put it in the exhaust?
In the exhaust. Honestly, I don't really like loud cars anymore.
Okay.
I mean, the Escalade is cool to be loud.
But you're not even 30 yet and you don't like gate.
Yeah, nah, it's just loud. I want to be like kind of discreet, but like have the right noises. I don't want, you know, like, I'm not into that.
All right, fair. I feel that. All right, cool. Well, that's pretty much it. I think from here, all you got to do is get that line stuff and all the parts, because that's going to be fabrication, because he's going to end up, you know, cutting this off and welding a fitting onto there so he can go 90 from there to here. And then this one's a straight shot pretty much to down here, and then you just use a push lock one for that. Otherwise, oil feed, he needs the fitting that comes out of the block right here.
Here we go.
That little guy there is your oil feed, so you need to make sure you have that fitting. I'll dig through your box over there and see if I find something. You might already have it, which I'll hook it up if that's the case. And then you're gonna have to take this to Dan for some fab work.
Oh, for sure. My goal is to just get this thing in the car, have it ready, like plumb up the other side, and then when Dan has it, he can make the intercooler piping, he can weld that dash 6, he'll have the fitting, he'll connect it, tie everything together. Hopefully we can kind of do first start as soon as I get it back from Dan.
And then maybe Jimmy's for a dyno tune or something. Yeah,
that would be sick. Like, if I can have this done in the next 45 days, trying to be realistic, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because it's winter right now and everyone works slower for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What I'd highly recommend you do is probably Vibrant would be the good way to go, but get one of those little velocity it's like a little funnel that comes off here. It's like a V, so it goes from the 3-inch here and brings it out to 3.5.
Okay.
Because you should minimum have a 3.5 downpipe for this.
What do you think a good power goal for this is?
500 easy. E on E. 500 on E is like all day.
That's safe.
Yeah.
500, I'm going to enjoy this. It's not going to break on me.
Yeah, because it's a 660 G30, so it's not going to come in too aggressive torque-wise. So your stock rods and pistons should be fine. And it's a non-VVTi, so that even bumps the, where it hits
like
up.
Good, right?
It is a good thing.
It's not torquing so down low.
Yeah, generally when you break rods and pistons and stock motors, it's because you're pushing too much torque into it down low.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it.
No, for sure.
But otherwise, that's it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no, this thing's gonna rip.
I hate the color of these valve covers. Dude,
Who painted them? It's like Don. It's like John.
My buddy, but it didn't look the same on the card.
Oh,
and when
okay.
I got it, I was like, ooh, this is bad.
This reminds me of like John Deere.
I hate it so much.
Like a John Deere tractor, like.
I can't even look at it. Like everything looks so nice. You put those valve covers, you're like, buddy, what the hell happened?
It's all good. Do you want some billet ones?
That'd be sick.
I'll send you a contact.
Would look way cooler than
it
this
would. And you'd
Forest.
get 2-10s right here. Does this have the annoying thing in the middle? Yeah, I hate that, man.
Yeah,
this is so annoying when dealing with coil packs, this little thing, and it breaks all the time.
Yes, it
and
does.
it leaks.
And it's annoying to get off, and it all sucks.
JZX90 aside, the good news is the 180's all fixed.
Oh, the 180 is fixed. I was here last night. Sam was helping me out and stuff. It's all together. When we actually went to go for the test drive and everything, and it broke up because we found out that one of the spark plugs was cracked. So fix that. But Sam noticed there was a coolant.
There was a coolant leak.
Yeah, underneath the intake.
Yeah, so the intake had to come off yesterday. Fixed that. We got the new fan on there from Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy O. That's on there, not messed up anymore. So this thing's ready to go. He's just got to put his upper radiator hose on there.
And tighten the alternator belt. But
oh yeah.
Honestly, dude, the fact that and it sucks because it's all done now, right? And there's so much salt outside.
Do not want to take this nice car out there.
No, but it's there. Like I'm confident when I tighten the belt and stuff, I'm actually going to be able to go and properly rip on this, and maybe just like daily it around, like actually drive it.
This will be a nice daily.
I feel like I have all these cool cars, but there's always like that little something wrong with them that you're like, never doing that, and then. This is the first one. This is the first one to come alive, and I'm excited.
Yeah, no, this thing's going to be great. Nice little 180. You could even recharge the AC.
Oh, I know.
This thing would be sick.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyways, so this is nice. I'm excited to see where this thing goes. I know you need to get like some new parts for the front end.
Yeah,
I think I can still get these in Japan. So if I can find this in Japan, we'll figure it out and ship it to you because these just bolt in. So that'll help you.
Amazing. Because I want to put that on. I mean, the no bumper, it's not bad, but it will look so much better.
So much better for sure, yeah. Night and day. But yeah, no, this thing's coming out good. So this thing's pretty much done. And then the 90, I'm going to leave you with. So I'll come back in a little bit, like maybe 1 or 2 months, if that's still on the lift and nothing's changed.
No, I mean, something's got to change, Something definitely has to change. I'll get on it, definitely.
For sure. This Colorado would be cool to see ripping too. Last time I saw this, it was not supercharged, so.
Yeah, we just actually got the fan and stuff in today, actually. It just got to Matt's house, so we'll probably next week after Christmas kind of dive into this. Damien's got to fix a couple more wiring things, and then we just got to throw the fan on it, and it's done. But then it's like salt on the road. Do I want to drive it?
No.
Both these cars are mint, rust free.
For real, is this what does everyone do in the winter? I guess everyone just goes down to Florida or something?
I mean, you kind of just deal with it.
Because you can't do anything.
You kind of just deal with it. I feel bad for my truck. Even yesterday at the car wash,
We went to the car wash. Literally, we're like, oh, cool, we're going to dry it off with the blower. The blower froze all the water on the truck.
Literally in, 10 seconds?
10 seconds.
The whole truck was filled with ice. It was terrible.
The doors wouldn't open properly.
Couldn't even use the steps.
No, the steps were had an inch of ice on them.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was wild.
Don't wash a car, even if it's salty.
How cold was it yesterday? What was the temperature?
I think it was 8.
8?
Yeah.
8 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's like minus 20 or something.
It was pretty cold.
Yeah, it was nuts. Now the next thing I want to show you guys is this. So previously, Rudnick was burning. How much would you say? How much wood were you spending per week?
Here every day, it'd be $100 a week.
$100 a week in firewood, and you weren't just buying crap at the home center. You were getting someone to bring you a truckload.
Yeah, we were getting a truck bed every single week.
A truck bed every single week.
A truck bed, literally a whole truck bed.
So, and these things are great for, a small room and stuff like that, but to heat this whole shop, you'd have to burn a ton of wood, which is obviously why you're spending so much money.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
But
and you don't.
Which you did.
That's true. So these are the empty buckets of oil because for the last, what do you say, like 4 days, 5 days?
Yeah, 4 or 5 days we've only been burning oil. No wood, no nothing, just oil. Thanks to Sam. I mean, he created this whole thing and it worked. Honestly, I was sitting here last night with Theo and me and Theo were backing up. We're like, bro, he got this too hot. But Sam's like, nah, man, it's fine. I'm like, oh, man. It was glowing.
It was glowing. It was glowing.
Crazy.
That's why we added our heat sinks to the top. So we used some brake rotors and old hubs from his truck, and that gets the heat, up higher. Like it obviously, it's just like a CPU. Just think of it like your GPU or CPU in your computer. We've added this as like a heat sink, and that then means that fan can blow through there and get the heat out faster.
It worked well because before our temp gun wouldn't even read it, but now with the heat sink, so we can actually read the top of it.
Yeah.
And everything is all good.
We're averaging like what, 650, 700?
Yeah.
On the top, which is great. So this thing is radiating some serious heat and it is just raging nonstop. Right now it's a little hard to get going because the only fan that I was able to buy from the home center to pump air into it is this little like duct fan, little 4-inch guy. But Rudnick's ordered a proper blower fan with a controllable speed. So he'll be able to get this thing cranking, which will mean that he doesn't have to use anywhere near as much oil as we're using now. And it'll be a much more like intense heat too. So he should be able to go through half as much oil with like 3 times as much heat essentially, which is wild to think about.
It's pretty amazing, dude. And this thing works the best it's ever worked, 1000%. And now it's free because I have so much oil.
So much.
This is literally brilliant.
How many gallons of oil do you have outside?
80.
That's wild.
Yeah, 80 gallons. So
That's
it's
wild.
just like kind of worked out that you're like, yeah, let's just make this an oil burner. I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. And I went went Christmas shopping, and then I come back and you got a beautiful fire with just oil. I'm like, this guy's a genius.
I'm going to show you guys really quickly how this all works, but I need to change the camera battery because it's about to die.
A few moments later.
I'm sure a lot of you guys are not strangers to a waste oil heater. These are actually sold as an industrial unit. Usually it's like a big unit with a top section radiator and there's a big burner and a tank down the bottom and stuff. I think we found some refurbished units for about $3,500 to $4K.
Not bad at all.
No, that's really not that bad when you think about it because you're burning, essentially, you're getting free heat from the waste that's produced by your shop. Or every time you change a car, it's hard for you to dispose of waste oil.
I change oil more frequently now because now it's like, oh yeah, let me just change the oil. Oh, it's been 1,000 miles. Screw it,
I mean, during summer and spring, you're gonna have to collect it all then.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But even if you ran out during the winter, you could use any oil. So if you had a friend that ran like, a little food shop and they were dumping all the oil from their fryers, you could use that oil. Any kind of oil. It's great.
That's wild.
So how this works, guys, and I'm gonna open this real quickly so you guys can see. It's gonna smoke a little, but there's a big drum in there and the little intake is in the middle there where the air blows out. And then you can kind of see, but this pipe here just kind of goes into there through the side of the burner there. Now what's actually really, really cool, this is ice cold to the touch. All the way to here. It's even like my hand's still on that, not burning. Actually, my hand's burning because of the heat radiating off that. So the oil is just sitting in a Lowe's bucket here with a bulkhead, little adapter here to a ball valve. And this controls how much flow, how much fuel you're giving it. And this just goes into here, which then gravity feeds into there. And what's obviously awesome is the fire is kind of creating a vacuum because it wants to consume air. So it's even sucking it through naturally, right? But this is all the oil that is dripping. It's that little stream. And Rudnick won't even have to have that much oil going into it when he gets the proper blower fan for this. So this thing is pretty much, it's amazing. And I've been wanting to build one of these forever. I fell down the rabbit hole one time on YouTube late at night when I couldn't sleep about making these. And it was just super cool to we went to Riccardone's, I think it was.
Yeah.
We got the biggest old Chevy truck brake drum that there was.
Yeah.
I smashed the hub out of it, welded up all the holes from the stud, and then used the center as the air chimney. So that's a straight shot to that vent that goes in the back, and the air goes up, hits that half pipe, and goes down into the pot.
Dude, you are the ultimate MacGyver. You're a genius for this. That is so good. And it took you an hour and a half.
An hour, and I would say everything that I spent money on, the pipe, the fittings, the bucket even, the hose, and the ducting and the fan. The fan was a little expensive for what it is, and it doesn't even move 60 CFM like the box said. It moves probably 20. But everything was probably $150. I'd say in all supplies and everything.
Send me the invoice later.
Send you the invoice later?
Yeah.
The free heat is going to be awesome.
The free heat is absolutely amazing. You're already saving me tons of money. just because like you're like, oh, we need another gallon. I'm like, okay, dude, gotcha. You know, pretty sick.
No, it goes through pretty quick, and right now we're using about 5 gallons a day. And like, obviously you can choose how hot and nice it is, but like, I'm in here in just a hoodie right now. I'm not rugged up. You're feeling a little under the weather.
I'm actually sick, and we've just been going hard the past week, so I'm a little sick.
But it's warm enough in here where I'm just rocking a hoodie and jeans, which is awesome considering the temperature it is outside is below freezing. Few safety things I want to talk about. Obviously, we are burning oil, and you need to make sure wherever you live that it's legal, which in the state of Connecticut, we're all good. That aside though, if you set this up and you set it up correctly, you should not actually be producing any smoke. It will be like clear hot air coming out the top, especially when you've got a proper blower fan. So that way you're not gonna have any soot issues, you're not gonna have any black smoke or anything like that, and it's gonna be a very clean burn. Look it up on YouTube or do some research on these things. They are very efficient and very clean for disposing of waste oil. It's actually a very common thing, like I said. There's a lot of industrial versions to heat your entire shop. I think Trevor even has one at his shop, right?
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah. So there's that. Obviously though, please be safe and careful if you plan to build one of these. Do your research, but this is an oil fire. It does mean that it's kind of hard to put the fire out right away in an emergency situation. So make sure you keep a fire extinguisher close by in case you need it. That is good for putting out oil fires. And also just, don't put a bunch of stuff around it that's going to catch on fire. Just be smart. Probably shouldn't have these buckets so close and stuff, and plastic stuff behind there, but there's no heat behind this thing. It's actually nothing here at all. It's nice and cold, but yeah. That aside though, just be safe, be careful, and use common sense. Be smart out there, guys. So yeah, free heat. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. I'm sorry there wasn't a ton of action, but just kind of like finishing up everything because this is essentially my last day that I'm gonna be here at the shop. It's been great doing some stuff with Chris. If you guys tuned into the live stream, it was a lot of fun kind of experimenting with that, and it was a huge success. And I think Rodney's excited to do some cool stuff together in the future, as well as do some more live streaming stuff as well. And like these kinds of events were definitely gonna do well. You're excited about that food.
Dude, look at all this food. It was free, dude. Look at all this. I mean, it's all gone now. It's in here, but this is the highlight right here.
For sure.
Beautiful.
Food Nick coming in clutch. All right, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you the next time. Let me know in the comments, what do you want to see me do next time I'm visiting the States with Rudnick, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.